Hello everybody, welcome back to Black Mesa. So, a couple things before we get started. First, according to my footage from the first episode, it doesn't, okay good, that's my flashlight key. It does indeed appear that the game stops recording, or that more accurately Shadowplay stops recording during loading screens. Which is fine, it just means I'll have to remember to stop talking through them. So that's why you saw me like cutting between sentences when loading screens happened in the first episode. Now, second of all, and I'm not stepping through this hole until I get through this because I don't want to get distracted. Second of all, I apologize for getting political in the last episode. I will do my best to ensure that it doesn't happen again. Also, this won't be relevant in a couple of years, hopefully, but right now, everybody, we're in the middle of a pandemic. So first and foremost, I hope everyone is staying safe. I hope you're all healthy. We're gonna get through this together. Now, I've been getting a lot of questions from personal friends about how, because being a police officer and an emergency services worker, I've been getting a lot of questions on how the police are equipped to handle a pandemic outbreak like this. And this varies very widely from department to department. For example, New York right now is getting hit very hard, but to my knowledge, New York actually has its own hazmat unit. And the other one gets him from... yeah. It's kind of weird that my flashlight is... oh, it's chest mounted. Right, it's mounted on my suit. So it's... yeah, see, it's shining there because it's mounted on my chest. It's not head height. I wish they'd change that. But, about pandemic response. My department in particular, which I'm not gonna say what state or city I'm from or where I work, just because I don't feel like that's relevant information. But my department, to be honest, guys, we have, and this is the case of most departments that I know, and most departments where I have friends personally. There are disaster response protocols, but we don't have anything specifically for a pandemic. And if you want a great video on this topic that will go into much deeper detail on what the police do in general, there's a channel on YouTube called Officer 401. And he recently put out a video called How Do the Police Respond to a Pandemic? This is mostly relevant for American police agencies, but it's, yeah, get down. A little bit of weird lighting going off of, huh. Oh well, this is the source engine. It's held together with nails and tape at this point. But anyway, poor bastard. Didn't have a gun? Damn it. I think there's a loading screen in here, so, Officer 401's video on how the police respond to pandemics is a wonderful tool. I'm going to step through here and see if there's a loading screen. Firefox, right? Okay, yeah, I think I closed Firefox because I've got like 50 tabs open. But as I was saying, if you want some very good and very informative details on police response in general, you should definitely check out his video. And there's also the fact that he's not playing a game in the background, or I guess he's not talking in the background of gameplay. As for my department in particular, we have disaster response procedures. We don't live in the Midwest, which some Americans call Tornado Alley. I think if I step in here, I take cold damage. Or no, it's in here, right? No. Okay. All right. Oh, God damn it. There we go. But yeah, we don't live in like Tornado Alley or anything like that. So we don't really get hit with we haven't been hit with a tornado in my entire life, or a tsunami, or an earthquake. But we still do have disaster response procedures. Although they're geared more towards natural disasters, which involves, in very simple terms, people generally, shifts in my department right now, the average shift can range between, like, generally we operate on 12-hour shifts, but, sometimes they can range anywhere from, they can range shorter down to usually, like, the target is 12 hours, but usually it's between, like, 8 to 10, because we have, we very recently, thank God before this hit, we had a fairly large academy class in comparison to how many people usually graduate from the academy. Not that we have, like, a big washout rate or anything, it's just that we had, what the... Get me over the box! Ah! Thank you! It's just that we have more people interested in employment, which I think is wonderful. Yeah, so if you see when the light flashes on, you can see that, like, I don't know the graphical term for it, but, like, you can see, like, the light edging around the edges of these... I think you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so thank God we have more bodies on staff, because what's going on now is because everyone's stressed. I'm in a state where we only have actually, you know what? I'm gonna look it up right now. We had like 160 or 170 cases yesterday. And if you ever want to look up the official confirmed stats for the beer bug outbreak, we crossed 200. As of 6 minutes ago, there's 209 confirmed cases and 8 deaths in my state. No recoveries, but and yeah, 76 of those are in my county. So hooray! Yeah, a couple weeks back, a public school worker caught it. And just real quick, guys, if you feel sick at all, even if you're convinced that it's just the flu or just a cold, please, for the sake of everyone, stay home. Because the fact is that most people who get this thing... This is gonna collapse. Isn't it gonna collapse? Yeah, there we go, there we go. Whee! Get the fuck up out of the... Oh, Jesus. Get up, get out. The fact is that most people who... Okay, I won't say the fact, but as far as confirmed cases go, according to the CDC, which, for those of you who aren't American, that's the American Center for Disease Control. I believe the EU has a similar agency. I believe it's abbreviated the ECDC. But anyway, according to the CDC, I don't have the exact statistical percentage in front of me. Quit throwing shit. But the majority of people who catch this bug are only going to experience minor symptoms. However, the thing is that you can be asymptomatic. You can have this thing and be asymptomatic, which, for those of you who don't know, is, and I'm not explaining all this in huge detail because I think you're all stupid. I'm just saying some people just don't know what these terms mean, and that's fine. You can be asymptomatic, meaning that you can have this thing and not have any symptoms for anywhere from 2 days to 2 weeks. Ow. And this poor bastard got his neck snapped by a ladder. You can be asymptomatic for up to 2 weeks. Now, does that mean that a lot of people are asymptomatic for 2 weeks? No. That's just the longest reported or suspected. I don't know exactly how they're figuring this out, because that's something that I'm not sure of, because you test somebody and they test positive, but they don't have any symptoms. If they don't have any symptoms, you know, symptoms are the primary way you tell somebody's sick. Or at least you can tell this, yeah, this is how long I've had these symptoms, so this is probably how long I've been sick. you know, how do you tell if you're asymptomatic? I don't know. I guess maybe you test them multiple times, like they test positive on the first test and then you test them a couple days later or something like that. I don't know. Fuck. This is gonna suck. Ah, fucking piss. I panicked. I panicked. Ow. What the fuck? There you go, yeah, take that. Yummy. Wasn't I supposed to have a gun by now? Oh, hey, G-Man, what's up, dude? Just gonna stare at me? But yeah, just, one thing that I don't quite understand is how somebody, or how they figure out how long you've been asymptomatic, but I'm not a biologist or a virologist, so that's neither here nor there. There's a hound eye that's going to come around here, and I don't have a gun to deal with him, so hang on, let me just check to see what my quick save key is real quick, just so I know. I think I have it set to F5. Miscellaneous? Ah, it's F6, there we go. So I'm going to quick save here. What's up, nerd? Okay, that was easier than I thought. But then again, that's just one of them. Can I crouch jump up in here? Yes, I can. Awesome. But yeah, so guys, stay home, stay safe. Because even, like, most healthy people that get this will only experience minor symptoms. And again, I don't have accurate percentages, I don't have accurate statistical data in front of me, and I'm only going off of what I've been briefed on in shift briefings at my department, and what I've read from the CDC. So please don't take anything I say as official fact. I am not a health authority figure. What the hell isn't? Aren't I supposed to be able to? Okay, this weird lighting effect is really tripping me out. I'm sorry. I need to figure out some way to where the heck is it? Because I don't remember this being a thing beforehand. You know, we'll deal with it for now. If anybody knows what that is or how to fix it, even if it's through console commands, please let me know. So yeah, I'm not a health authority figure. I would very much like to know why this isn't open. I remember being able to get in here, but I also haven't played Black Mesa in a long time. Shit. But yeah, again, most healthy people who get this, you're only gonna get mild symptoms. But the dude around you could seem perfectly healthy, but he could have asthma. And the thing is, this virus is a respiratory disease. And the thing is, I'm actually asthmatic. I haven't been symptomatic in... This is new. This is new. That actually spooked me a little bit. This is new. I was expecting to be dropped down into the little sewer pit where there's a couple of barnacles and you gotta turn the valve and the water fills up. Interesting. Okay. Oh shit! Oh, fuck you. You know, we're gonna go back for 2 HP. Let's do this, boys. But yeah, I'm actually asthmatic. I haven't been symptomatic for over 10 years. But you better believe that when I was young, oh boy. Not only did I carry around an inhaler, but I also had this thing called a nebulizer. which I believe. Let me see if I can spell this right. I think it should be Nebulizer, which is November Echo Bravo Uniform Lima India Zulu Echo Romeo. I might have skipped a letter somewhere in there because the coffee's still setting in, even though it's 12:30. Yeah, this is the first day off I've had in a week. But yeah, and I'll get back to my previous topic of police response in just a second. Oh, hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. Okay, so that... Oh, that's so slick! Okay. Okay, cool. Alright, so that's how you get up here. This door is the one where I was like, why can't I get through here before? This just used to be a door into here. But yeah, I'll get back to the police response thing in just a second. I thought there was a med kit in here. Ah, well. Should be a couple of head crabs at the top of these stairs. Even though I haven't had symptoms in over 10 years, I'm still asthmatic. Fuck off and die. And the thing is, that since this is a respiratory disease, anyone who has asthma is at higher risk. Let me see here. Shouldn't there be a scientist back here somewhere? Ah, there he is. Unless he's dead. Ah, there you go.
Thank God.
I'll wait for this guy to talk.
Listen, I know where you can find some more weaponry. There's a security office not far from here. Take me with you, and I'll unlock the door.
Alright. And, okay, you don't automatically come with me. I have to...
I hope you don't mind if I tag along.
I don't mind at all. So, yeah. And the thing is that, like, again, haven't been symptomatic for over 10 years, but I'm still at risk. And the thing is, statistically, so, my personal friends know this. You all don't. Statistically, excuse me, I shouldn't be alive. I was born very, very premature. We're talking around 3 months premature. And no, that is not a lie. I am extremely lucky to be alive.
Oh, safe haven.
Once again, I'll wait for this guy to talk. Yeah, safe haven, huh?
Well,
Startled by body. I love these captions.
over there's the weapons I spoke of.
You gonna...
I've had my fill for excitement today. You're welcome to stay if you want. I'll stay here.
I think an episode of Freeman's Mind ended here where he's like, yeah, let's just sit here, wait for help.
I'll catch up.
Finally! Give me that fucking Glock. I'm also kind of sad that I picked up this grenade because I missed the initial equip animation. Ah, well. Finally. But ammo's pretty scarce for this thing this early in as far as I know, so we're gonna play it smart. But yeah, I should statistically have never even made it out of the hospital. So I have a whole host of medical conditions, most of which I have either compensated for surgically, or they do not affect my job, or I have other ways of compensating for them. For example, vision in my right eye is fine, but I have oh cool, so this opens. I'm lucky that I didn't end up blind in my left eye, and not only that, but I'm actually monocular, which means that I still have depth perception in my left eye, but because the quality of vision, and I know that's not the proper term, but because the quality of vision in my two eyes is I have 6, is so radically different, How does this one open? What? I actually have a primary eye, like people have a primary arm, like how people are right or left-handed. I am actually right-eyed. I must have missed a valve somewhere. Sorry, not a lot's happened in this episode. I haven't recorded anything in 2 weeks, and there's a lot to get through. But yeah, my right eye is fine. My left eye is fucked, but I have glasses for it. And what's kind of funny is that, like, theoretically, I could have had a freaking monocle made. I could have had a monocle prescription. Ah, it's this one. It's this. Ah, grab this, stick it on there. There we go. As literally no real Italian would say, bada bing, bada boom. I don't trust fall damage in this game, so we're just gonna take the stairs. But yeah, I've got a whole host of medical conditions, which I'm happy to talk about in further detail, but most of them aren't relevant to this current, like, I guess I can call it a conversation. One of them that weirdly enough, if you can believe that somebody forgets they have this, I have a condition, or, well, I had a condition, back when I was really, really young, like, we're talking, like, still in, whatever the term is for the intensive care ward, where they keep the babies that are, like, you know, that part of the hospital. I'm sorry, my brain's failing to come up with a proper term. Might be a loading screen here. While I was there, I just want to finish this thought before I go in here because I think there's a loading screen. While I was there, I was suffering from this thing called chronic lung disease, which you can look it up if you want. Chronic lung disease. I won't go into huge detail about it, but basically my lungs, even though I have no real respiratory problems, aside from I might run out of breath like a very, very, very tiny bit easier and sooner than most people, which fortunately doesn't affect my ability to run after people. My lungs are, very minorly, but still, my lungs are actually scarred just a bit. And they have been since I was a few months old, and they always will be, because scars don't heal. Hang on, let me see if I can juke this fucker into this barnacle. Yes! Yes! Gobble gobble, motherfucker! Oh, I love it. But the reason I bring up asthma and everything, and my chronic lung disease, and the fact that my lungs are still very slightly, but still, scarred, is the fact that, people who are... Oh, shit! People who are at higher risk for getting butt-fucked by the beer bug, the bye-bye breathing bug, the woo flu, kung flu fighting, like myself, the statistic of 20 to 30% comes to mind, but I'm not sure. Again, don't take any stats I give you for granted. Look up the CDC or look up your local health authority. Don't trust the WHO, the World Health Organization. Don't trust them, and I'm not saying that because I'm a tinfoil hat conspiracy theorist, but they are essentially in the pocket of China. And long story short, China has been reporting like, oh, we only have like 3 new infections today. Oh, we have no new infected today. Ever since they conveniently kicked all the Western journalists out of their country. Whereas if you look at New York, which has much better healthcare than freaking China, and again, I don't blame the Chinese for this as a people. I don't have a problem with the Chinese as a people. I have a huge problem with the Chinese Communist Party. Important distinction. But anyway, where was I? Ah, right. I believe it's 20 to 30% of people who, like myself, are at higher risk. Can come out of, like, if we get this bug, we can come out of it with some amount of lung scarring. And lung scarring weakens your lungs, and it makes you more at risk for getting infected again. And since your lungs are scarred, it can be deadlier the second time than it was the first. Hello, Vortigaunt. And so on and so forth. Because if it's deadlier the second time, and then it scars your lungs even more... Nope! Oh, I forgot its hit scan. Can that attack be dodged? Probably. Only by ducking behind cover. But yeah, so let's say my lungs are very slightly scarred. Not enough to really affect me too bad, but oh boy, it was scary for my poor parents when that was happening. So again, it doesn't really affect me, but it still puts me at just that little bit higher risk.
Gordon, is that you? Is it safe?
Ah! I love the scientist screams. Is it safe? Ah!
Oh dear. I do believe I soiled myself. Run along, Freeman. I've some sordid business to attend to.
That's it? Okay. Nothing new there. So, yeah. If my this is that pit with the barnacles and shit. Can I hit you through here? Get screwed. So yeah, just before I jump down here. If, you know, my lungs are very, very slightly scarred from chronic lung disease from when I was a baby. That puts me at very, very slightly higher risk. Asthma, even though I haven't been symptomatic for 10 years, I was still very symptomatic when I was young, so that puts me at slightly higher risk. And not only slightly higher risk, when I say slightly higher risk, I don't mean higher risk of infection, although that is a factor. I'm referring to higher risk of having it, the actual infection and the disease itself, have a worse effect. So let's say my lungs are... I don't think I can really throw percentages out here, but let's just because I'm a numbers guy, I'm an analytical person. So just to throw this out here, let's say that my lungs are, I don't know, 5% scarred from chronic lung disease. Just to throw a number out here. No ladder? Okay, let's just go. Yeah, just to throw a number, let's say 5% scarred. Can I? Oh, I can. Awesome. And then let's say I get the beer bug, and it scars my lung. It scars 10% of my lungs. Again, none of these are numbers that you should take as any kind of official advice. I'm just throwing numbers out here because I'm a statistical person. So yeah, let's say my lungs are 5% scarred from when I had chronic lung disease, and the beer bug scars them 10% more. Then my lungs are 15%, my lungs are 15% scarred. And then, again, this stuff isn't like the chicken pox. It's not, you're not immune once you get it. And yeah, I have had chicken pox before, and I do believe that you're immune once you get it once. So yeah, my lungs are 15% scarred after that first run with the bug. I can get it again, and since my lungs are a little bit more scarred, it can have a little bit worse effects on me. I don't trust you being dead. You are dead. Okay. And then, since my lungs are already a little scarred, it can have a worse effect on me than the first time. So, let's say it scars my lungs 20% more that second time around. My lungs are now 35% scarred after I come out of it, which means that I'm that much more at risk to get it again, and it's going to be even worse that time, and so on and so forth. Now, do I actually believe that anyone's going to get this bug like 17 times and then have their lungs be one giant mound of scar tissue? No. I'm not trying to scare people with things like that. Oh, sweet. Awesome. Did this guy have a grenade on him? Sweet! And I know I'm saving a lot. It's just, it's force of habit. You know, I really should have figured out where I'm supposed to come out of this thing. Get out of the way, barrel! So yeah, that's... Again, stay home, stay safe. And I do believe there's a loading screen here. Whether there is or not, once I get around this corner, I'll finally go back to about how the police respond to a pandemic. There it is. And if you couldn't hear me, then that means that it got cut off. Just in case it is still cutting off my recordings during the loading screens. In the first episode, so basically for shadow play, which is what I use to record, in the bottom right of my screen, there's a little microphone emblem, which means that it's picking up my mic audio. If there's a red line through it, it's not. Next to that, there's a little green light, which means that it's recording. There's a little pause icon that'll come up when it's not. In the first episode, it was showing the pause icon a lot during loading screens, and it was cutting off my dialogue then. In this episode, it hasn't been showing it very much. It's been green through most of the loading screens, but I still don't know whether it's, I won't know whether it's really picking up my mic audio during loading screens or not until I actually see my footage. So I'm still trying to figure that out. But about police responding to a pandemic. Hello. And I'm sorry if everyone's getting a little tired of me talking about the beer bug for a half hour straight, but it's very relevant to me. And honestly, it's very relevant worldwide. Where the heck did this thing go? Hey, buddy. Ah, there you are. Oh! Hit him with a drive-by. Yeah, so the police, again, most departments that I have friends in, my own included, have disaster response procedures, but we don't have specific pandemic response procedures set up. Now, the department administration has certainly been having a lot of meetings, meeting after meeting, and again, Officer 401's video, which once again is titled, unless I'm getting the title wrong, it's titled "How Do the Police Respond to a Pandemic?" I believe he works in administration in his department now, and he goes into detail about some of the things that he and the administration division in his department have been going through. Basically, it's meeting after meeting after meeting right now. And my department is the same way. I am not in administration myself. I am in the patrol division. I worked in traffic for a time, but I'm in the patrol division. And that should open these doors, right? Yes. So patrol is the officers on the road that respond to most calls. Traffic is a small division, at least small compared to patrol in my department. Those are the ones that respond to traffic stops, or not respond to traffic stops. Those are the ones that initiate traffic stops and things of that nature. Yeah. New music. I like it. Whoop. Bye-bye. Now, with disaster response, what that usually entails is there's a lot more officers on the road, and at least in my department, we have the luxury currently, since we had a fairly large academy class before this thing hit, we have more bodies on staff. That's a lot of head crabs. We have more bodies on staff currently than we normally would, which is great. Well, this is the most people we've had on staff since I joined this department nearly 2 years ago. I've been an officer for longer than that. This is just the second department I worked for, and damn it, I missed the... Ah! That blows. I was busy talking, and I missed that. You know what? I'm gonna reload. It's F7 to reload a save? I think. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna do this again just because I wanna. I don't want to use console commands. I want to get up there legitimately. So yeah. Since we have a lot of people on staff right now, we have the luxury of like a lot of people are working, but most of everyone is working shorter shifts by at least like 2 or 3 hours shorter. My normal shifts are anywhere from 9 to 12 hours, usually 10, some are 12, but that's normally. Currently, my shifts are anywhere between only like 5 to 6 hours, with the amount of bodies we have on staff, which is great. Now I'm working more hours, and some days I'm working 2 shifts a day. For example, and here's where we get off of Mr. Bones' wild ride. Shit. I like this new music. Again, I'm working more hours. So basically what's going on is, currently I personally am working, I'm working twice a day. I'm working a total of 9 hours a day, on average, like 9 to 10, usually 10, but for the past couple days it's been 9, just because I've been getting off early because on my second shift of the day. I've been working split shifts, and this was purely voluntary, because they can't do this involuntarily. They being the department, they can't have you do this involuntarily, at least according to my state's labor laws. I don't know about other states, but we're all willingly, like, everyone's working more hours. But what I'm currently doing with working a split shift, is something that normally they can't do it, like, they can't make you do it voluntarily. Shit, I'm sorry. They can't make you do it involuntarily. They can ask you if you want to, and you can bet that in a time like this, like, unless you've got a damn good reason, like I've got kids at home that I would like to be with at night. Like me personally, I have my dearly beloved, and we don't yet. We haven't had any kids yet. But it's on the table. It is definitely on the table. Not during the beer bug pandemic, though. No, sir. But anyway, the point is that we're actually both working split shifts currently, and you are dead. Because neither one of us have our own kids to take care of. Come on, motherfucker. You know what? There's nothing up there, is there? We'll bust these up and see if there's anything in them. What I'm doing is I'm working 2 shifts. When I say a split shift, that's what I mean. I'm working twice a day. I am working, one of my shifts is 11 a.m. to 4, or for anyone who is working, or for anyone who lives somewhere where, with a 24-hour clock, that is 11 to 1600. Also, I've said this before in another series, and I'll say it again in this one. As a proud American, freedom units suck. I don't like the Imperial system. Even though the Brits created it, to my knowledge. But anyway, poor bastard. Is there a loading screen here? Oh, a little bit of a hang-up, but... And... Ba-boom! Watch your head, Doc. I'm pretty sure there was somebody on there, on that platform. What used to be a platform. Oh. Anything on this? Nope, just blank. Yeah, so I'm working 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And I'm also working 10 p.m. to 3 a.m. Turn my flashlight on so I can see a little better here. I could try to make that jump, but I don't trust it. So yeah, shorter shifts, especially during this time, are easier to manage. Okay, there we go. So yeah, shorter shifts are a lot easier mentally, especially during this time. Even though I'm working 2 shifts a day. So I can go out through here, or I believe there is, yeah. Screw it. Alright, there we are. So generally, what I said about departments not really having, or at least of my department not having specifically. Oh, fuck! I hate these bull squids. Ah, you bastard. At least I've got an HEV battery and a med kit around here. We have disaster response protocols, and again, when I say we don't have a specific pandemic response, we didn't beforehand, but all those administration meetings and things like that, they came up with one. And basically, it's honestly the same damn thing as our general disaster response protocol, which simply put, I think I have to jump down here. Water scares me in Half-Life 1 because of that fucking dinosaur bullshit that eats you in that one chapter. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I don't like it. How do I get up? How do I get up out of here? I've been playing a lot of Doom Eternal, and I've been, like, constantly trying to hit my map key. It is not here, it's the other way. Again, our newly instituted protocol for the beer bug is very similar to our disaster response protocol, which is basically everyone works more, but everyone's shifts are shorter. Anyone who wants to can work a split shift, but we're not going to make you, and we're just going to have a lot more officers on the road in general, helping with. And again, with a lot more officers on the road, that helps us respond to a lot more calls. It is more stressful, but whereas the other half of having more officers on the road is to where, like, for example, we haven't had to deal with any of the following in the time that I've been alive in this state, for natural disasters, it'd be like having a lot of officers on the road helps respond to a lot of different calls, and it also helps with rescue operations for anyone who might be trapped in their house during a flood or a hurricane. Anyone who is in their car, if a hurricane swept off the road, there's a lot more officers to help get to more people and extract them out of their cars and drive everyone to hospitals and shit. And so basically, we can respond to a lot more stuff because there's a lot more things that are happening during any kind of disaster. I'm sorry, English is hard. Even though it's my native language, English is hard. For this pandemic outbreak, there are actually less calls to deal with, because there's less people out and about. So there's, and I don't live in a bad town or anything, but so when I say so there's a lot less calls to respond to, and that means like there's a lot less like assault and battery and things like that to respond to, like public disputes, public fights, things like that, public disturbances. And again, I don't live in a bad... Oh, fuck, I hate this part. I don't live in a bad town or anything like that. Those things aren't, like, happening left and right on a normal day. I'm just saying those are the kind of things that we have a lot less of them to respond to. But, normally there'd be, like, a lot of, like, rescue operations and providing medical care. Oops. I'm not even going to wait to die. I'm just going to quick load that. There we go. So yeah, there's a lot less of the typical calls that we respond to. Quick save that. And another one. I don't know how I made that. Pure luck. Okay, that wasn't that bad. We have been seeing an uptick in domestic disturbances. Is there a loading screen here? What the? Didn't I just... No, this can't be the same room because I just busted this box in the other one. It can't be the same room, can it? Oh, thank God. We are seeing an uptick in domestic calls because a lot of people are staying home. And that's everything from... Nope! How was I able to kill that thing faster with a crowbar before it could even get a shockwave off? And that could be anything from... that means anything from domestic violence, which, we are seeing a few more of those than usual, but not as much as I would have expected. Are you kidding me? This is the other... I was like... I saw that splatter and thought it was on these walls, and I was like, are you serious? One big loop for nothing. Anyway. Alright. That doesn't sound stable. And again, that could be anything from domestic violence to a noise disturbance, which usually results from, usually it's from either somebody's music is too loud in an apartment building. There we go, that's better. Or what we've been seeing a lot of is hey, I think they're having a party next door in my building, which for these stay-at-home orders, it's not just stay in your apartment building, guys. It's stay in your apartment. And at least where I am specifically, we're not under quarantine. We're not under quarantine. We're under a stay-at-home unless absolutely necessary directive. And there's a lot of people that think you know, oh, we're all stuck here. Let's have a party at Jimmy's apartment next door. Which, I mean, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. And honestly, like, I'm not gonna tell you that everyone's gonna die if you have a party, but it's just the fact that please just stop and think. I'm not gonna tell anyone what to do, except when I show up in uniform at your apartment because everyone's having a party and being rowdy and shit. Then we can lawfully order you all to go home. Because not just because you're being loud and disruptive, but because just one of you, if just one of you is asymptomatic, you've already infected everybody. Because not only can this beer bug stick on surfaces for up to 3 days, although that up to 3 days is in lab testing, which is a highly controlled environment. It's undoubtedly going to be less time in the real world with variables in play. But it's also, not only is it airborne, but it can stick in the air for up to 3 hours. So, and again, with what I've said about anyone can be asymptomatic, which means you're infected but you don't have symptoms, for anywhere from 2 to 14 days, you could have this thing and not even know it. And if you go to a party, or if you like go out and get groceries, which I'm not saying don't go out and get groceries, but you know, if you go out, please wear a mask and gloves. And don't touch your face, period. And also, when you're wearing a mask, make sure that around your nose, make sure that there's no open space, because I've seen a lot of people wear masks and it's just kind of, you know, up and over their nose, but they haven't crimped it down like around the contours of their nose to make sure that, you know. Because what that does is, when you're breathing out, virus particles, if you're infected, just go right up through those little open spaces and into the open air. So yeah, you could be infected and not have any symptoms whatsoever. And that could be how you find out that your neighbor actually has really bad asthma, when you hear that he's in the hospital. So please, be smart, be safe, be aware. Gonna deal with another loading screen here. Okay, here we go. And yeah, again, I'm sorry if me talking about the beer bug through this entire episode was boring for any of you, or irritating, or oh my god, I know this already, stop preaching. But it's just the fact that, guys, this is affecting everyone everywhere, and especially with me being having, you know, being part of what's obviously been deemed an essential service, because emergency services are kind of essential. And you know, I'm out and about dealing with the public. But you know, my department has issued everybody with masks and gloves. And when they're issuing them, it's not like some dude in the supply room is like, okay, just here's a mask and here's a pair of gloves, just tossing them to you open-handed. No. What they're doing is they're handing us packs of they're handing us little 5-packs of sealed 5-packs of surgical face masks. Which, you know, the ones that you see surgeons wear. And it's got a metal, one of those thin, one of those really thin, pliable, which means like bendable, metal bands, where you can kind of, you know, wrap it to the contours of your face to where it fits. So it really is one size fits all. They're handing us those in like two sealed 5-packs. And we can pop back into the precinct, which, for those of you who don't know, that's the police station. We can pop back into the precinct at any time to get more. And they're also handing us every cruiser now has a box of black nitro gloves, which we all have gloves, but gloves for us, aside from, you know, things like the SWAT team where they have Kevlar woven gloves, our gloves are more for like if we gotta frisk somebody with drugs and you know, we think some people do this, we think they're hiding them in their butt. You know, I'm not gonna stick my hand up somebody's pecker without gloves. It's not gonna happen. Sorry, not sorry. And that you know, we wear them during like drug searches or when we're dealing with any kind of blood, because pathogens. And we still have those gloves, but those are all like personal gloves that people buy. Those aren't issued to us. In some departments they are, so. But the thing is, you've got some people who, like, with their personal supply of gloves, some people will have, like, a little box of just, like, disposable, like, blue surgical gloves, which is what my partner and I had in our cruiser. And you've also got some people who will have, like, sport gloves. It really just depends. But anyway, since we've gone through a chapter, I think this is a good stopping point. I've more than said my piece about the bug. And I'll keep giving you guys relevant updates, at least related to me, or just things that I find interesting as they come in. For example, just one more thing. For example, there's this guy from Luxembourg, I think, and I heard this about a week ago now, maybe a little bit more. Hospitals in Italy are running out of breathing tubes, for surgical masks, or I'm sorry, not surgical masks, for oxygen masks. They're running out of breathing tubes for them. And not just oxygen masks, but like oxygen, anesthesia, you know, the mask that you get put on you when they put you under for surgery, or when you're on oxygen. Those breathing tubes for those masks. Hospitals in Italy keep running out, so while I don't support copyright infringement, in times like this I can make exceptions. There's a guy from Luxembourg who formerly works for a company, or who formerly worked for a company, I say formerly because he got fired for this, who copied their design for surgical, for easily mass-producible, or I don't know mass-producible, but easily producible surgical breathing tubes, and he's 3D printing them for hospitals in Italy that keep running out, and I think that's wonderful. But yeah, I'll bring you guys updates like that as I hear them and read about them. But I've more than said my piece about the beer bug. I'll bring you guys updates as they come in. But just for now, guys, please take it from somebody who is out and about and dealing with the public, because I'm at risk, and if just one cop gets infected, that can bring down an entire division, an entire district, an entire shift, an entire precinct. Might sound a bit fatalist, but it's not out of the realm of possibility. And if you've got an entire division of officers down, or at least an entire district, that's bad news bears for everyone. Whether it's cops, firefighters, EMTs, no matter what. So please stay home, stay smart, stay safe, stay aware, and most importantly, stay healthy. We're going to get through this together, guys. Until next time, I'm the Angry Militant. Thank you so much for watching. If you've got any questions about anything I said today, please ask in the comments below. If you've got any feedback, let me know. Any suggestions for stuff I can play, let me know. Or if you just want to say, hey, your commentary sucks and your voice sounds like your balls haven't dropped yet, let me know. Without further ado, guys, I will see you in the next episode. Have a good one. Don't get the bye-bye breathing bug. I will see you next time. Take care.